right, so this is the brewery. It's small. it's less than us wide. Yeah, this is cool. I don't think there's much else.
That's the brewery.
My name's Dan.
And I'm Colin.
And we've started a brewery in Norway.
Yeah, called Bent Gate.
Yeah. So, I guess we'll talk about this. Is so awkward. So I'll first start with the equipment. So I have a Grandfather 40-liter sparge heater. So this is to heat the sparge water. I have it on a custom furniture here, which then I have the heat exchanger below.
We have the B150. This is where all the magic happens, where we turn the water into worts. For the B150, we opted for the steam hat with the heat exchanger. So it basically allows, since the room is so small, we don't want to make this into a Turkish steam bath.
We have before.
We've done it, we've tried it, and it's not in our favor. So that way we can collect the condensation, put that into the drain. And then here we've opted for the 4-valve setup. So we were able to have very fine control over the cooling process and our circulation. So we're able to cool the beer through the heat exchanger or bypass the heat exchanger and put it right back into the kettle and create a whirlpool during the brew process. And we have the sight glass and the adjustable dip tubes, which also helps during the circulation and brewing process. And lastly, we also have our inline oxygenation, which is clutch for making sure our yeast are properly oxygenated before they go make some alcohol.
Which I guess gets us to the question of bent gate and what is a bent gate and why?
Yeah.
And I guess, so a bent gate, that name actually came from a bent gate carabiner. And really, this is because we met the first time climbing. And then I also really like this name because where I'm brewing, it's in the Gjerdrum Kommune. So it's like a county, basically, in Norway. And the emblem for that also has a gate. So it kind of has like a bit of a double meaning, like we're kind of like a bent, messed up, weird gate. But it's really for climbing because it's kind of where we've really become friends is climbing, skiing, things where you need gear, all the gear.
Pretty much just anything. Yeah, gear, mountains, it all goes together. And
yeah, and we thought it was kind of a fitting because actually the first time we met, it was we met at a climbing gym, and then I think we both had to take, maybe only me had to take the belay test in order for us to do rope climbing there. And so I'm taking this belay test, and it's lead climbing. So then when you fall, you kind of pull up the belayer to take some of the force. The instructor was like, so Colin's up there and he wants to do a test fall and make sure I can take the fall properly. Yeah, catch the fall. And he's like, nope, let out more slack. And I'm like, I think this is like too much slack. This is not how much slack I would let out.
And I was only like 4 clips up. Like I wasn't even that far up the wall either.
Yeah, so the instructor is insisting that we go into let's say a safe but dicey situation. And so he takes the fall, and as he's coming down, I'm pulled up, and my face just goes straight into your ass. No!
Not again.
Like, we've known each other for maybe like 15 minutes, and it's like close. And I even hit hard enough that I had like a raspberry on my head. And then like we met up with someone else later, and it's like, what the hell happened to you? Like, well, we have a story.
Yeah, it was. It was the start of a great relationship.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, and then for the fermenter, we have a Brewtools F150. I've also opted for the 4-inch hop drop kit. So this allows me to do oxygen-free hop dropping for, those beautiful hazies, as well as I have a filter kit. One little modification I've done is I've actually put the spunning valve on the side. as when it was on the top, then it would kind of fill up with gunk and stuff like that. So this keeps it much more cleaner and also a bit easier to operate. And then I have it temperature controlled both with the Brewtools heating element, which is controlled by the Inkbird here, and as well as the Inkbird controls a solenoid valve for this glycol chiller for cooling. So I'm able to cold crash and carbonate in this as well. And then from this, we can directly package both for kegs as well as cans. Another thing that's kind of been important is I've been learning brewing and this YouTube channel and everything kind of through the community. And so part of the idea here is open source brewing. So on our cans and on our website, we give away our recipes and how we do it. And in our YouTube channel, we discuss, how to start a brewery, how we brew, what we brew, really just to kind of pay it forward. And
like tips and tricks that we've learned along the way, and, little optimizations. And I think, they're just those tidbits of things that we've learned through our cumulative years of experience of brewing on various systems and processes. So
yeah, and also kind of learning with us, because we're still definitely not the best brewers in Norway by far, and we're always going to get better and better. So we'll be constantly evolving and improving. So it's kind of, I think, fun for people to, at least I think so, for people to follow along. And then we've already growing a community of brewers and people all around the world. And so it's fun, and it's kind of like everyone's watching us screw up live.
Yeah, it's great. We love it. It's, there's no better way to do it than just send it.
Yep. So in order to pull our grains out, we have basically a 4-to-1 pulley system, because it turns out big grain bills, which can be up to 35 kilos dry, are very heavy, I've learned. So it's actually too heavy for 2 people to lift. So with this, 1 person can lift it, and then we can slide it from here to here. It'd be loud, and basically dump our grain. And so that's super useful. In addition, other features in the brewery, move this aside, ventilation fan right here, which when we're doing the mashing process, this allows basically for also the room not to become a Turkish sauna. I have the retractable moving arm for the display unit, and this allows it basically to move in and out of the way and also kind of keep it out of the action. So we've purchased a custom sink, and this is obviously where we do our washing, as well as a custom bench top. So we can everything ourselves. We use the duo filler with 2 fillers, so we're able to do 1 can at a time, and then we take those cans and actually can them ourselves. So we have a video linked up above where you can see us actually canning this. Yeah, this is cool. So that's super useful, because you end up having a glove and you're trying to deal with things and somehow doing this, and then you can just pull on it and it works. So that's useful. And traded a 6-pack of beer for this whole shiny wall that you see here in our splash wall. So that worked out well. And then that's basically what I've done building this, along with the floor that we made custom. And then we'll maybe shoot to the epoxy floor that I laid myself, as well as the drain behind me. And then between my legs is also the drain that I etched in, so that way we're able to easily rake the water. I think what you should do now is rake me. Like so. And then I have my CO2 here. So I have a long port so I can put CO2 where I need it, and then a separate CO2 as well for the canning. And this is for carbonation here, as well as other times you need CO2. And then I have a fridge full of goodies, which is full of the packaged hop, also video on how I package my hops above, as well as other things that are good to keep refrigerated. If we move to the boring part, then I have miscellaneous like keg fittings, brewing salts, different graduated cylinders that are horribly unorganized, and other things as well. So this is kind of the messy side, as well as having some more of the adjunct grains as well.
And then the last thing,
Oh yeah.
the very important piece is a place to put all your clamps, because they get everywhere and you need a place for your clamps.
And you need to make them look good.
Thanks, Bradley.
Yeah, thanks, Bradley. Portly gentleman.
That's the brewery.